Part 10 of the second number of Art in Australia, 1917. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. John Longstaff by Bertram Stevens. Illustrated by The Lady in Black by John Longstaff, in the possession of National Art Gallery, Sydney. If no other of Longstaff's paintings survived, save The Lady in Black, that alone would be sufficient to prove him a master craftsman. It is not only the best of Longstaff's work, but the best painting of the figure that has yet been made in Australia. When exhibited in Europe, it met with high appreciation. It was hung on the line at the Paris Salon of 1893, and came within one vote of winning the gold medal. The simplicity and directness of the artist's treatment of his subject, the exquisite modelling of the face and hands, make the canvas one that never fails to interest. There is a fascination, too, in the subtle suggestion of the lady's pose. Without one meretricious touch, Longstaff has made her quality manifest. There is an air of wistful melancholy about her refined features. Her attitude is that of one who has gone through the fire of suffering and found peace. Charm is an overworked word, but it is the only one that, in its best sense, expresses what Longstaff's art has imparted to that figure in the New South Wales Gallery. The Henry Lawson, in the same gallery, is as remarkable in its way as The Lady in Black. It was painted one forenoon in 1900, when Lawson was in Melbourne on his way to London, and a few touches were added on the following day. Longstaff hardly knew Lawson when the latter sat for him, yet he caught the characteristic expression of the poet at once, and gave us one of the most valuable national portraits we possess. Longstaff's methods are rapid and straightforward. He does not, as a rule, make any preliminary studies, but observes acutely, makes his plans quickly, and then begins on the portrait. 2 or 3 sittings are generally all that he requires. There is a portrait of George Lambert made in about an hour, which illustrates the deftness and certainty with which Longstaff puts his subject onto the canvas. The list of his portraits of Australians is too long to print here. It covers a considerable variety in subjects, ranging from the youthful beauty of Marjorie Williamson through such different feminine types as Mrs. Phil May, Mrs. George Lancel, and Mrs. Longstaff, to Edward Knox in severe black, Professor McCallum, and the late Sir Frederick Darley in their robes of office. Since he first went to England in 1887, he has been fully occupied there. But it can hardly be said that his later work, judging by what has been seen here, is better than that which first made him known and admired in Australia. John Longstaff was born at Clunes, Victoria in 1862, and began to paint in childhood. At the age of 9, he went to Melbourne to compete for a public school prize for painting, and won it. His mother encouraged his artistic ambition. His father wished him to go into business. Most of his early years were spent on his father's farm, but eventually he was sent to work in a Melbourne warehouse. Then he was able to study in the night classes at the Victorian National Gallery under G. F. Follansby, and made such good progress that he was soon released from the warehouse and allowed to devote himself entirely to art. In 1887, Longstaff won the first travelling scholarship awarded by the Victorian Gallery with Breaking the News, a remarkable work for a young man. Shortly afterwards, Longstaff left Australia and spent some time in France and Spain before settling down in London. His mother and child secured an honourable mention at the Salon of 1891. The difficult subject of the Gippsland bushfires of 1898 was handled well in a painting purchased by the Victorian Gallery, which also has his big Bertram Wills group. The latter was acquired in 1907 under the terms of the Gilby bequest, which necessitated the painting of the picture in England. It might have been a success if painted in Australia. As it is, the detail is obtrusive but not realistic. The atmosphere is not convincingly Australian. The tragedy of the situation, however, is well conveyed in the treatment of the 3 figures and Burke stands out with impressive dignity. Longstaff has visited Australia twice since he first left here, and has for some time acted as London advisor to the New South Wales Gallery trustees. End of Part 10.